Good morning from sunny California. How are you doing, everyone online? I see people are getting into the live feed, and I have two awesome guests today. On one hand, oh, you can see that my video is a little lagging. Maybe if I turn off my settings. Yes, I was not lagging 20 seconds ago. I'm lagging now, but it's okay. We're going to fix that. While I fix my stream, I let Ian and Dash introduce themselves.
Sure, Dash, you want to go first?
Hello, everyone. As always, I was on mute, but I'm not anymore. Thank you for joining. Thanks, Felipe. Thanks, Ian. Super excited to be here. My name is Dash. I'm on the DevRel team here at Snowflake. Work with Felipe all the time. And today I have something exciting to share with you guys. Ian?
Awesome. Yeah. Hey, everyone. My name is Ian Whitestone. I'm the co-founder of a company called Select, which is in the Snowflake ecosystem. And so as part of that, I do a lot of work on Snowflake. Our whole business runs on Snowflake as well. So I'm naturally a large fan. And then in addition to that, I'm one of the Snowflake data superheroes. So that's my involvement with Snowflake. I do not work for Snowflake, but I'm a happy user of their product. So excited to be here.
Yep, I'm super happy to have Dash here, my teammate and great demo master at the summit. He did so many demos. He's going to feature one of his demos today. And also, it's great to have Ian. We want to feature not only Snowflake employees, but people from our community. Ian is a great community member. He knows a lot about optimizing Snowflake. He was at the summit every day, attending so many talks, having so many meetings. So I would love to review the summit according to Ian. What was your summit experience, Ian?
Oh gosh, where to start? Well, I'm from Canada, so the first thing for me to experience in Vegas in the summer is dealing with the heat. So I have to say I am looking forward to it being in San Francisco next year. But overall, the summit experience was amazing. There's the energy for those who haven't been. The energy at summits are always just this whole other level. So it's always exciting to be there from that perspective. Blown away by the announcements as I was this year and the previous year. And then, one of the best parts, I think I've shared this before on previous live streams about Summit, but the best part is always the people. The presentations are great. The content is great. You'll learn a lot. You'll hear about exciting new stuff. But for me, the things I look forward to the most are connecting with all the amazing people and the community that are there.
Oh yes, the parties and
Yeah, the
everything
parties
in
are the
between
parties
the
are good. I
talks.
didn't say that. I said connecting with the people, but the parties are next level. That's true.
Yes. So we're going to review your post. We have the app there. It's on every major announcement at Snowflake Summit and one were never mentioned.
It
Uh,
actually was mentioned. We can debunk that later. My
yes.
clickbait title.
People love clickbait. And we're going to go there. And I want to remind people we are live. So any questions do you have, feel free to ask us. We are here to answer questions. And Dash, you also had a LinkedIn post telling people about all the demos you did at Summit.
Absolutely. So here's the post. Let me close
And
this
we
out.
know.
Yeah, I had a great experience as well, just like Ian. Number one thing was just meeting people. And I had the great opportunity to actually build a lot of the demos for all the forward-looking things that Snowflake's going to put out, pretty soon. I can't speak to the dates, but I also got to present all the demos I built. So it was awesome. And then Builder Keynote, I don't know if people that are tuning in live right now saw that we got to act, Felipe, myself, and a few other colleagues and employees. So that was a lot of fun too.
Yes. People love that keynote. I know Ian missed it, but it's okay. You can
Yeah.
watch it on demand now. And from all the demos that you made, like you have a super long list.
hmm
Which one do you want to show us today?
So today I'm going to talk about and show native applications, which is actually in public preview. So everything you see today, we have a quick start guide that we're going to put a link. You can actually try it out. And yeah, that's what I'm going to show today.
Native apps.
Yeah.
Hey, should I give you the stage so you can demo this to us live? And remember, everyone, it's live. Anything can happen.
Yeah, I thought I already had the stage. But thank you, Felipe.
Okay.
All right. So let's look at the application itself first. Just give you a couple seconds. So what I'm going to do is, before you actually look at the code, I want to show you what the application looks like, and we're going to backtrack. Okay. So this is an application running in Snowflake. It's a native application. You can see there's a lot of different charts. We also have a way to display things in different orders, different layouts and things like that. You can also package up your custom code as a user-defined function, right, or sort of procedure. So what you see here, the column, lead time, is basically calling a UDF for these rows to figure out what the lead time is. So just to show you what the application is, and now we're going to backtrack, start looking at the code, and see how we can package everything together. So you can use any ID, any tool that you like, but I'm going to use Visual Studio Code today. One of the big advantages of using Visual Studio Code is there's an amazing Snowflake extension that you can install and then work directly from your environment, and then have everything that you do is basically either select, or you can also push files to your stages and stuff like that. So as an example, I have a SQL here. I'm already connected. I can run the SQL to see what my data looks like in this particular table. So it's pretty cool. Again, you don't have to use it, but it's an awesome way to have an integrated environment with your Snowflake account. All right. So we looked at the app. Like I mentioned, we can package all kinds of things together. The application that we saw, it's a Streamlit application. So you see it's all Python code. You can write these applications really quickly. And within, say, less than 100 lines of code, you can have an awesome application running in Snowflake where your data lives, right? So data is not leaving Snowflake. You're not having you're not having to process this data outside of Snowflake. So everything is going to use your existing data security and governance. All right. We also talk about UDFs, right? So here's my UDF. I have two different functions, if you will: calculate distance and calculate lead time. There's also a procedure, but basically you can package all this together, and then all you need is a setup SQL file. Now, this is the file where you write some DDL and SQL statements to package your user-defined functions. You create roles for your application. So here you'll see I'm creating two user-defined functions and a stored procedure. So these are going to be installed automatically when you install the application on the on your either consumer account or also your local account when you're testing the app before you list it in the marketplace, right? And then how do you actually package everything? There's a file called manifest file. This is where you describe what the setup script is, and then also a few different configuration options. So this here is really important. So some of the applications, including the one that I'm going to demo today, we're actually asking from the consumer to provide some data, so we can join that with the data that we provide, and then the whole idea is to build intelligence around the data being shared and things like that. So here we're asking for two different tables, access to two different tables from the consumer. So that's what's outlined here. Now, once you have all of this put together, you can use something like a put command, right? Either from here or also from Snow CLI or SnowSQL. You can also actually use the UI to upload all these files onto your Snowflake stage. But let's just look at what I've uploaded so far already. I can run list command and provide the stage name, right? And then here are all the files that I've already uploaded. Now let's go to my Snowflake account, right? So this is the stage where I uploaded all these files. Now what I'm going to do is I already deployed one application, I want to show you how you can actually create a package and then also apply a patch. So here are my files. What I'm going to do is I've already changed the title. So currently you'll see that this is the title. We're going to comment this out, and then I will uncomment this. And we'll save this file, and then we're going to upload this to the existing stage, v2. Libraries go here. Again, this is a user-defined structure that you see here. I just like to separate out my application code and the SQL files, right? So here's my Streamlit Py. I'm going to upload the file. So app is native app, source, scripts, libraries, Streamlit, and then you'll see that I just updated it. So use of the modified datetime. Upload. Okay, so we have our updated application on our stage called native app v2. Now, how do you actually create these packages? So I have the files. Now I can start building out the application package. Now, it's as easy as clicking on this and then just giving it a name. So test package. Okay. Now, there's two different ways to create these packages. One is if you want to distribute within your org or a specific account, right? So this is probably the easiest when you're trying to test the application. And then if you want to put it on a marketplace, that's when you select this option. But this also requires for the entire application and package to go through a security scan. We want to make sure everything that people put out is okay to distribute and also use. So in our case, let's just select this. And now we have a package, right? You can add versions. So you can click on this and say version 1. You select the database, you select the stage, and then within the stage, you may have different folders for different versions. I'm going to just go ahead and create this, and I already have a typo here. This is proof that it is live and not recorded. All right. Now, done. So what I'm going to do is let's use the existing package that I already have. Okay. And then we're going to create a new application, right? Just in the interest of time. So you can use SQL statements like this. So create application. This is the name of the app, and then the package. Okay. Now this package is going to use actually the older version of the app, right? But if we actually use this package, we'll see that it's going to use the newer version of the application. So let's go ahead and change this to test PKG. Many typos. This is going to take a few minutes, and obviously it's a live demo. You'll see that it's going to fail, right? So there's a lot of different ways you can set it up so that you can also debug, right? And I want to show you this right here. In the manifest file, log level is debug, and then tracing is off right now. Now, just in the interest of time, there's too much that goes on in order to actually debug. But what I'm going to do is use the original package, and then we'll update or we'll patch the package that we already have. Okay. So this is the package. I'm going to create a patch. So I also wanted to show you how you can patch existing apps or packages, if you will. So you're going to use the same, select the version to add to, which is 1. Select the path, which is 2, add. And now you're going to use this updated version or the package or the patch to create the new app. Okay, I'm going to say done. And then go back to the package, and you'll see that I can also set different releases on this. So by default, it's 2. So the one that we just patched. You can also roll back to older patches if you wanted. But right now, let's just set it to 2, which is the current one that we just updated. So now I'm going to go back, and then the package name was lead time optimizer. Sorry, this one. Okay, run this. We'll take a couple of seconds. So now I want to show you how, once you test it, how you actually make it available to an existing account or to put it on to list it in a marketplace. Okay, so for that, you basically go to Data, Provider Studio, click on a listing, and then say this is a test. Let's call it MFG. Here, we're going to select the package, which is this one right here. Short description is a lead time app. And down here is where you specify which account you want to share this with. Okay. Again, this is a private share. If you wanted to put it actually in a marketplace, it goes through security scans. Obviously, takes a little bit more time than what we have right now, which is 10 minutes. So here I'm going to select another account that I have, and I'm going to share this app with that account. Okay, so the listing is live, and here I'm logged in as in my different accounts. You'll see down here. Now, if I refresh this, we'll see the listing that was shared with me or in this account. All I have to do is click on Get and get the application. Now let's have this installed. What I want to show you is if you were to actually list it in a marketplace, you can also monetize these apps, right? So this is a listing that I've created beforehand, and you'll see that you can also customize what the pricing model looks like. So if I click on this, then continue, there are three different options. You can select one-time payment. You can also have a base monthly fee, and then you can also use a custom model, which is what I've selected right now. So here I'm saying, it's a lead time. Billing is 1 cent per query, and a monthly maximum charge is $1,000. And you can also set a free trial, for example, 30 days, or the other option is I think 60 days. And then you can also have it so that there's no free trial, right? So it's pretty amazing. You can have these apps in the marketplace that you can monetize on as well. So let's go back and see in our second account if the app's created already. Okay, so apps is installed. I can go ahead and click on it. Now I want to go back to manifest file and reiterate this. So in this application, like I mentioned before, not only we are sharing some data from our side, which is the intelligence data, but we're trying to also ask the consumer to provide some data so that we can join the two and provide a lot more insights into what's going on. So you'll see that there's two different tables being requested access to. So let me go back here. So here's the first one. So again, this is on the consumer side. Let's assume they have a table called, so I might need to, okay, there we go. It's my database. And then the orders table should be down here somewhere, right here. I've selected it. And then, sorry, I have to zoom out so that I can see this button down here. Okay. And then remember that I have asked permission for two different tables. So I'm going to select the second one, which is site recovery. And there you go. So there's a lot you can do. Also, obviously, including requesting data from consumers. And the application doesn't actually assume that you already have the table and things like that. And it will actually specifically ask for you to give permissions to the application. So there you go. This application is now running on the consumer account where it was shared through the private listing that I created just a few minutes ago. Right. So here's the listing. Here's we created the application locally just to first test it. So this is, again, we were back to provider account where we created the test app called Lead Optimizer 2. So if I go back and refresh this page, you will see that here's the application that I just created. Again, this was for testing purposes before I share it with a consumer account, or also put it in a marketplace. What else? I
Bravo.
also mentioned that. Was there a question?
No, I'm just happy of everything that you have shown so far. Like, just to recap, you created an app, you debug the app, you publish the app, you move the app from the creator to consumers. Like, how
Mm-hmm.
do you share the apps? That's a lot happening here.
Yeah,
And yes,
And no data
it
ever
is.
left the customer's account, which is what's
Exactly.
so cool about these, right?
Yeah. And then I just want to also
Mhm.
highlight that everything you just saw, there is a quick start guide that's really based on this application that we just saw. And if you'd like, you can actually create this application within, say, 30 minutes,
Yes.
according to the quick
So
start guide.
it took 12 minutes for us here, but people
Right.
can do it every step from zero, from scratch, following the quick guide. By the way,
Right.
I love when Ian highlighted that no data from your customers was moved. And
Yes.
customers are very important for Ian because tell us a little more about select.dev. What does your company do?
Yeah, so we're a Snowflake optimization platform. So we help Snowflake customers monitor, understand their usage, optimize performance, make the most use of the capacity that they have on their contract. So, part of how our application works today, and this is the same as every other application out there that most people will use with their data warehouses, is we get access to their data warehouse. For us, we just access metadata, so it's a lot simpler from a security standpoint. But many applications today connect directly to Snowflake customers' warehouses and sometimes pull data out of them so that they can serve customers with these rich experiences. So what's super exciting about native apps, and I hope this sinks in for people, is customers no longer have to, build that trust in these external vendors. They can just say, let me take your application, Ian, let me take select.dev and just run it entirely in my Snowflake account. So there's some, really exciting possibilities this unlocks, and it'll just help so many more people adopt these awesome tools that are being built on top of Snowflake.
Yeah, you can distribute the app, and the app lives in the customer space with the customer's data, and it doesn't get out to your. It's really good to prevent data movement and to prevent data leaks and just distribute. So,
Yeah, simpler
uh,
too. No egress across accounts either, and regions and all that stuff. So that there's only upside.
yes. And speaking of cool announcements at Summit, let's go to your blog post to review what you found exciting about Summit. Dash can
Sure.
help us run into that screen, but let me quickly summarize what your post says. You talked about native applications. You talked about Snowpark container services, managed iceberg tables, dynamic tables in public preview. That's cool. I love public preview. Snowpipe streaming is in public preview. All of our AI announcements, the developer updates, cost optimizations and control features that you get to bring to your customers, and all the improvements to the query engine. So give me the highlights according to Ian.
Sure. So, I think Dash just shared one of them, which is the first thing I list in this post, which is native applications framework is in public preview. So we first got a glimpse of this last summit. This year, it's finally in our fingertips, and we can use it. So what this means is anyone can go and create, develop, and deploy a native application like the one Dash just showed, and actually get paid and make money off of these applications today. So this is a huge unlock for developers, either individual developers or other companies. I think what's exciting, if people are on the live stream and you're an individual developer, like what's exciting about this is you now have the potential to make a business on Snowflake that you could have done before, but it would have been just much harder with all of the different, legal, regulatory, security requirements that are involved. So that's what's super exciting. That's available today. What I was personally most excited about is the second kind of thing I talk about here, Snowpark container services. from my perspective, this one stole the show. This picture I have on the screen here is actually Snowflake knows how to do, and this is part of why Summit's so exciting, is they know how to do live demos, and they're not afraid to do them in front of thousands of people, and they're also not afraid to do 10 of them in a row. So that's what you're seeing in this picture is in the background, you see these 10 people behind the scenes who are actually live demoing these applications, I'll call them, running in Snowpark Container Services, as Christian Kleinerman talked through them. So what is Snowpark Container Services and why is it so exciting? It's essentially a new kind of runtime you can think of, or a new way to run applications, workflows, jobs, services in Snowflake. So again, you have all the benefits of the native app framework with everything running in the Snowflake customers account. But what Snowpark Container Services unlocks is the ability to run any language or any set of complex dependencies, more rich web applications like a React or JavaScript web application entirely in a container running in the customer's account. So it's not just limited to native apps. Snowflake customers could use this to deploy a ML model that has some dependencies that aren't supported today in Snowpark, for example. So it's not only applications, but it could also be your own internal jobs that run on a schedule or a custom kind of UDF that hits an LLM model. Like, insane possibilities from this one.
Yeah, and speaking from the demo, I'm saying, yes, Snowpark Container Services are in private preview, but what you can see here is 10 different companies building their services on containers. It's private preview, but already all of our partners are trying it, building on it.
So the screenshot right below is from a company called Hex, which builds these really cool ways, interactive notebooks that let you combine R and Python and SQL. And they were one of the companies who demoed their, if you're familiar with the Hex web experience that you can get today, they had that, but running entirely in the Snowflake customers account, which was just insane to see.
Yes.
Yeah, this was something. Cool. Yeah, this was something that I also built using Snowpark Container Services, where you see the notebook, all of that. I know it's a little hard to look at the URL, but this whole thing is running in Snowflake. It has the Snowflake computing app URL. And like Ian mentioned, this is a hosted Hex within Snowflake running on NVIDIA GPUs.
Yeah. And I think that's another, there's almost like there's like a hidden gem in here, is like, not only is this Snowpark Container Services, which is this new feature in private preview, but under the hood, it's also taking advantage of new GPU support that Snowflake announced as well through their partnership with NVIDIA. So that's another thing that people can read about later on, is Snowflake bringing more options from a compute standpoint for customers to train these big AI models or support these new AI workloads.
Yeah, we have only 1 minute left, and we have a lot of announcements to go, so I'm going to skip most announcements, and I'm super excited to hear about Ian's thoughts on optimization. You're an optimization expert. But I have a live question here from Taylor Dean that it's specially tailored for you, Ian, which is, can you talk again about path toward monetization for individual developers? You are someone that's building a business on Snowflake.
For sure. So I don't know all the different options off the top of my head, but essentially with this announcement of native applications in public preview, Snowflake also announced a number of different billing and payment methods available for Snowflake customers to pay for these applications. So you as a developer, and if you caught this at the end of Dash's demo, he showed when he was setting up the application all the different ways that developers can charge for their native app. So there was, I think, monthly pricing. I think there's an upfront fee. You can bill it. One of the new things they announced at Summit was like usage-based billing. So if your app involves people running queries, you can set up a usage-based pricing model. So the short answer to your question is, billing is automatically taken care of by Snowflake. So they will take care of, you don't have to ask a customer for a credit card. They can either use their credit card, or another feature they announced was the ability for customers to pay with their Snowflake capacity. And you as a application provider or an individual developer would still have to, create a business bank account. But you put that in, and Snowflake just takes care of all of the billing, the legal terms associated with your app. It's all covered there. So hopefully that helps answer your question, Taylor. I'm happy to shoot me a message after if you want to chat more, or reach out to the great folks at Snowflake, and I'm sure they'll be happy to tell you all about it.
Yeah, and that's the community platform like that Snowflake's building, and it's super, super cool. We need to start wrapping up. Any last message before we say goodbye, Ian, Dash?
Thanks for having me, and I can't be more excited to start using all the different things that were announced, and I hope you all are just as excited as I am.
Yeah, thanks everyone for joining, and thank you, Ian, for your time today too.
Yeah, thanks everyone for joining, for going through with spending this morning with us, and hopefully we will be back soon. LinkedIn had some problems with the comments, but I would love to read your comments and what would you like to see next. We'll be back very, very soon. Thanks a lot.
See you later.
Thank you.
Have a great day, everyone.
Time for the dancing bear. Oh, there it is.